Anime. The only mainstream flavor of entertainment where you can find the exact same genres you'd come across in the hub. Look, I might still be holding on to my V-card in the dollar store bordello that is mainstream TV and film, but when it comes to Japanimation, I've been around the block more times than a bootleg smut peddler. Nowhere else do I revel so gleefully in the dankest gutters of entertainment than with anime. I'm not talking about your run-of-the-mill generic anime here. No, I'm referring to the bottom-of-the-barrel, dumpster juice-infused abominations. Nowhere is my love of bottom-of-the-barrel entertainment more prominent than with anime. My preferred poison is either full-on fan service for the sake of fan service or low-brow isekai. Double jeopardy if you can hammer the two in. And my definition of isekai is pretty loose. Any departure from an MC's normal world into a fantastical setting or circumstance I'll consider an isekai. And yes, I understand that that's basically all anime, but for me it's more of a I'll see where the wind blows rather than an exact science. Under my jurisdiction, both High School DxD and 3/4 of Community are considered isekai. My word is law, by the way. I've watched both Doraemon and Captain Tsubasa. I've paid my dues. Sounds about right. My days of wanting to learn Japanese purely to watch raw anime are as behind me as my aspirations to write a dating sim featuring historical communist leaders and dictators in a high school setting. And yes, I was that weebanoid that took a semester of Japanese in community college only to realize you don't really learn much in 4 months at a school where you stop showing up 2 weeks in. Hey, pay attention. We're talking about anime tropes here. By far, and I mean by far, the absolute worst anime archetype is what I refer to as the little stupid bitch-ass main characters. And boy does the world disagree. I put up with 1.5 taint-sniffing seasons of My Hero Academia and its certified twink of an MC to figure out what all the shindig was about. There's a hard-on in the land of the panty vending machine, and it's not for normal hard-on things like your best friend's sister, your hot science teacher, mid-presentation faux pas, or mosaic art of someone's bush. It's for little bitch main characters with negative T levels. If we had Geiger counters that detected testosterone instead of whatever the fuck they detect, they'd suck themselves up and create a black hole whenever someone wrote these characters into existence. The amount of times I've had to be on the opposite side of the screen from a male character that refuses to make a move on a broad that's essentially labeled herself as an all-you-can-eat buffet is staggering. Just put me in, coach. With me as MC, these shows would last 3 episodes tops, and one of those episodes would be strictly recap. Ah yes, that glorious time when the plotlines and stakes go on a weekend retreat to the Bahamas, leaving behind only moist cleavage shots and questionable swimwear choices. Because nothing says character development like a one-piece 2 sizes too small and the MC nosebleeding his way to Valhalla. Look, I've ingested enough garbage to know when something's meant to be just dessert, an aperitif, nothing more, nothing less. And the beach episode is the triple fudge sundae of perverted indulgences. It's like a narrative cigarette break. It's the writer saying, we've traumatized you enough with all these incomprehensible power systems and underage demon lords. Here's an ice pack and some titties. Sure, I sound like I'm complaining, but don't get me wrong. I'm on the sofa, controller in one hand, lube in the other, half listening as English dubs waltz through my ears while witnessing some Sweat Cirque du Soleil his way through my backline with 99 Mbappe. I'm practically a barnacle on the hull of this trash barge by now. I can't remember the last time I watched an anime purely for its narrative merits. At this point, I'm just a raccoon digging through the dumpster out back, gleefully discovering that a half-eaten McNugget of fan service is still in fact edible. And the beach episode? Oh, that's my warm bag of off-brand cereal I find. Don't act surprised. After all, I've already confessed to being a cultural sewage treatment plant. My moral fiber shriveled up and died the day I accepted that High School DxD is my go-to comfort watch. The high dive uncensored version, by the way, not the Crunchyroll abomination. If the beach episode is a crime against artistic integrity, then lock me up and lose the key because I'm pleading guilty while building a sandcastle with my free hand. Go ahead, judge me. But until they give me my prize for best depraved viewer of seasonal anime, I'm gonna keep slurping up these forced bikini parties and mandatory water gun fights like they're the second coming of freezing. I must say, I'm not terribly against OP main characters, but the fact that about 90% of isekai anime featured this trope makes most isekai incredibly unwatchable even to my trashy palate. CDC just figured this out with My Adventures with Superman. Great show, by the way. You may find it hard to make an OP lead enjoyable if your source material's setting and storyline was written in less time than it takes me to drop my morning shit. I'll pose my all-time favorite OP-MC non-isekai anime, The Irregular at Magic High School. Or The poor performing student of a magic high school, if you're an educated folk. Now this is high trash art. The entire vibe and soundtrack tells you, this ain't your Zoomers high school fantasy. Nay, this is true art. They really spent at least a few hours thinking this one through. Now I won't kid you. The soundtrack and world building do all the heavy lifting here. Our MC's got the range of a seasoned Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson biopic. We work with what we've got here, but we work nonetheless, incestuous undertones notwithstanding. Yes. The in love with you sister trope / the your sister is in love with you trope. Now I don't know where you stand on the topic of getting stuck in washing machines, but in Japan you can miss them with the whole step bro pretext. It's family first in this house. Literally the only places this trope exists is spank material and anime. That anime hentai Venn diagram is looking more and more like a circle, eh? I will now divulge a short but comprehensive list of both fan service and isekai anime recommendations. Gantz. Both isekai and softcore porn. I mean fan service. Highly recommended. The foosball episode of Community, though the entire anime is golden. All the Bleach openings, the first Bleach movie for reverse isekai, The Good Place, YouTube compilations of Family Guy cutaways, that Pepsi Man video game, Godzilla but only if you look at it from the point of view of Godzilla, that one Jamiroquai music video, Sicario. Despicable Me 3 once you understand that Balthazar Brett was Randy Marsh all along, redo of a healer, and Stuart Little. Go with God.